Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, we have to deliver news, always wishing you Merry Christmas, but always keeping you updated on the market. Many questions we are receiving on the Semenyo situation, but also Harvey Elliott, Rúben Neves, more to say on Manchester City and opportunities on the market. Let's jump into it today. And here we are guys, Merry Christmas to all of you. Spend this time with your families, with your loved ones. For those who are alone, I hope you will have still a very good time. And here also to give you transfer updates to help you spending this day in a nice way. So again, a big hug to all of you following me, and thank you as always. And again, Merry Christmas. Today guys, I wanted to start the video by mentioning Antoine Semenyo, because in the last 48 hours I've been updating you on this situation, I would say constantly, because we had several surprises, several situations with Manchester United trying until the very end to make this deal happen. As I was mentioning, even prepared to change the system, to have a different approach on the tactical point of view, to try and make it work for Antoine Semenyo, prepared to pay the release clause and try reach eventually an agreement with Bournemouth on the payment terms. So Man United were really aggressive on this one. Then Chelsea made an inquiry, but then left the conversation. There was no feeling in the talks they had with Antoine Semenyo, and so both parties decided to leave the table and not to proceed with this deal. And then Antoine Semenyo deciding to indicate Manchester City as his favorite destination for the future. Now, what's gonna happen next? I'm getting many questions today, guys, because of some reports about Liverpool. Reports mentioning that Liverpool might hijack this deal for Antoine Semenyo. What I can tell you, guys, is that Manchester City want to be as fast as possible to avoid any kind of surprise for the Antoine Semenyo deal. So what Manchester City will do next is to be in touch already this week with Bournemouth. The relationship between the two clubs, I'm told, is quite good. So Manchester City will be in direct conversation with Bournemouth to discuss how to proceed with this Semenyo deal. Man City will sit at the table and will say, okay, we have an agreement with Semenyo. We can pay the release clause, £65 million by January 10th, remember, or try to agree between clubs with a different structure. So Manchester City and Bournemouth will talk this week, in these hours, I would say, to try reach an agreement on the structure of the deal and get the here we go done for Antoine Semenyo. From Liverpool, they've always been calling. Liverpool started calling in November, Liverpool called again in December. Liverpool have always been in contact with people close to the player. At the moment, sources close to Semenyo confirmed that the player has indicated Manchester City as his favorite destination. But you know, until the deals are signed, we always have to be careful. At this stage, Manchester City are in the process to complete the deal and will approach Bournemouth to get a deal done. Then guys, what's going to happen with Liverpool? We will see if Liverpool will decide maybe a late attempt. At the moment, from Liverpool, calls constantly, but never an official proposal. And so, that's the situation as of today. Of course, Manchester City want to be fast. Manchester City don't want to face any problem, any issue. And so, Man City director Hugo Viana will be on point to approach Bournemouth and to try to get the deal done as soon as possible. So, this is the plan on the Semenyo story, on the Semenyo deal. Then, two more points regarding Liverpool and regarding Manchester City. For Liverpool, Liverpool are prepared to discuss with Aston Villa also in these days to find a solution for Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott went to Aston Villa on loan from Liverpool at the end of the summer transfer window after the Lucas Paquetá deal collapsed. Aston Villa wanted to sign Paquetá, the deal was almost done, then it collapsed with West Ham deciding different for their plans, and so the deal collapsed for Paquetá. Aston Villa decided to go for Harvey Elliott, very last minute, it was on deadline day, but he's not playing. He's not playing, and so Liverpool are obviously not happy, the player is not happy, and Villa want to find a solution. So Harvey Elliott is expected to return to Liverpool and then assess the situation, whether he's going to stay or find a new solution on loan. So discussions will take place for the situation of Harvey Elliott. But for sure, he's not expected to stay at Aston Villa, where he's not playing, where he's not an important player for Unai Emery. And Emery, from what I'm told, is also quite happy with the attitude of the player in training. It's just a technical and tactical decision. And so Harvey Elliott expected to be back at Liverpool and then assess the situation with the club to understand what's going to be next for him. So discussions expected very soon, Liverpool Villa for Harvey Elliott. Then for Manchester City, guys, important update and could be a surprise on the market. But if Manchester City will be able to complete the Antoine Semenyo deal, as we expect, because the conversation is underway and they have the green light from the player working on club side, I'm told that Oscar Bobb, the Manchester City talented winger, might leave the club in this January transfer window. There is a concrete possibility for Oscar Bobb to leave Manchester City in January if Semenyo becomes a new Manchester City player. So keep an eye on Oscar Bobb. Keep an eye on Oscar Bobb because I'm told that several clubs have started calling in the recent days. There have been reports about Crystal Palace interest. It's true, but I'm told that there are more clubs, and not only in England. For example, I can tell you that Borussia Dortmund have been in conversation in the last few days to understand the situation of Oscar Bobb. So he's one of the players they have on the short list and one of the players they like. We know the feeling between Borussia Dortmund and the young English players coming from the Premier League and becoming important players at Dortmund. We saw that with Jadon Sancho, we saw that with Jamie Bano-Gittens and many others. So Borussia Dortmund, of course, want to make that happen. Let's see what's going to happen in the conversation with Man City. Borussia Dortmund are one of the clubs interested, but Oscar Bobb has concrete chances, serious chances to leave Manchester City in January, especially if the Semenyo deal goes through in the next days. And then, guys, to close this video, many questions on Rúben Neves. I saw many reports, many of you sending me reports saying that he might go to Real Madrid in the January transfer window. I'm not aware of Real Madrid interest in Rúben Neves for January. So at this stage, I'm not aware of conversations or negotiations between Real Madrid and Rúben Neves. We will see what Real Madrid decide to do, but at this stage, Real Madrid are very quiet on the market, focusing more on summer targets than on January transfers. And we know that Real Madrid are not big fans of the January transfer window in general. And then we have to mention that many people were discussing about Manchester United. On Manchester United, what I'm told is that Man United spoke to the agents of Rúben Neves on several topics, not only about Rúben Neves. There was a contact to understand some situations, to discuss about some situations, some opportunities, but I'm not told that it started a concrete negotiation with Al Hilal for Rúben Neves at this stage. There was a conversation with his agency about opportunities, about names eventually interesting on the market, but at the moment we are not at the stage of negotiations, talks, bids, or this kind of situation. So let's follow this case, let's see what's going to happen for Rúben Neves, but at the moment, still early stages. And so, guys, tell me your thoughts on all these stories from Antoine Semenyo to Oscar Bobb. What do you think of this winger situation? And then Harvey Elliott and Liverpool. What's your feeling also on this one? An interesting one with the player expected to leave Aston Villa. Then Rúben Neves. What should he do next? Your opinion. Here in the comments. Like this video. Turn on the notification bell. Subscribe to the channel. Christmas.